Behind the scenes, the story behind the making of the Rosary musical video production.
One of the neat things about the making of the Rosary musical is the utilization of everyday things to make sets.
We use a lot of darkness, a lot of light, and a lot of nature.
Taking something that was being done in a parish and now bringing it into your living room on a DVD.
After 4 years of producing 4 complete rosaries, 20 music videos, and countless bonus features,
There's so much theology put into it.
There are different options.
the production team has a few stories to share about the project
It is a big project.
that has seriously impacted
And when the camera was on, it was serious. I mean,
their love for the Rosary
So many saints cannot be wrong.
and their friendship with each other.
just the greatest group of people.
It's a lot of fun.
It was fun.
It was a great experience. I would definitely do the filming again.
The Rosary musical began as a labor of love to bring the mysteries of the Rosary to life and share the power of this prayer with families. After an extensive tour, bringing the live production to different communities, Tracy decided it was time to reach out to a wider audience.
I realized in 2005, when we finished the audio version of all our Rosary musical, that the Rosary musical was not just audio, but it was visual as well. And I knew at that point that even though we had these beautiful audio versions of our Rosary musical done, that we will never be done until we have a video version as well, because it's an audio and visual presentation. It was then I knew we needed a video. And then I found out that Rebecca was free, and I invited her to come to Buffalo, and we began filming.
So it was March, and Tracy called me to ask if I would work on the Rosary musical project, and at that time I was preparing to study in Rome in the fall. And there was just this unique opportunity that I had open, and I came out, and it was what I was supposed to do. Right away we started taping. We were at St. Francis Church, and we were taping the Sorrowful Mysteries. After those first 10 days at Quiet Waters Farm, I knew that I had to see the Rosary musical project through to the end. So I went to Grand Rapids to pack up and come to Buffalo, and the day that I arrived was the day that Pope John Paul II died.
Besides their love for the Rosary, both Tracy and Rebecca share a deep love for Pope John Paul II. With the news of his death, both turned to him spontaneously as an intercessor for the project.
John Paul II has been a huge part of this Rosary musical. We had already been performing our Rosary musical for about 10 years when John Paul II came out with the Mysteries of Light in 2002. So we went back to the drawing board and we began again.
I can definitely say that I have experienced the heavenly help of Pope John Paul II on this project.
While Rebecca began work on the project, she was not alone. Tracy's daughter Julia began to take an interest in video production.
I used to go out and visit her in the studio, and watching her edit, I was drawn in.
Old school special effects right here.
And I really wanted to start working with the cameras right away.
Okay, try it one more time.
Actually, Rebecca had me watch a lot of the bonus features of The Lord of the Rings to pick up on tips.
All the way back there.
I learned television production in a community setting at Familyland Network, and that was a really positive experience for me. And that was an experience that I want to share with others. And so we worked as a team, and working as a team, we had a lot of fun.
The production team for the Rosary musical was about to gain another member from an unlikely place.
In the summer of 2005, we finished our first cuts of Sorrow and Glory, and then Rebecca left to begin her studies in Rome.
And I went to Rome to study with Sarah Beck, and we started studying philosophy together.
We knew we were supposed to be in Rome together, studying together, learning the church, on this quest, and being pilgrims. But we hadn't planned to work together the following summer.
And after a year together of studying and living a simple life of praying the liturgy, we decided to continue that in the summer.
And then Tracy opened up the doors for me to work on the Rosary project with Rebecca. And so I came to Buffalo during the summer, and I've worked more on the bonus features and helping make the DVD more interactive. And I have to go through and cut them all and then line them up with the music.
Back before computers, we used to have to actually get a razor blade out and slash.
When Sarah and I came back in the summer of 2006, we were staying at the St. Francis Cabrini Parish, and that's where we taped many of the scenes for Light and for Joy.
Mary, I've just gone looking back.
After the summer of 2006, St. Francis Cabrini was one of the small parishes merged into a larger parish during the restructuring of the Diocese of Buffalo. In the spring of 2007, the nonprofit Quiet Waters moved its audio and video production to the St. Francis Cabrini building, continuing its mission spreading the good news of Jesus Christ.
We hope to honor the people who built this building, who kept it up for 50 years before we acquired it. We hope to honor their intentions. We also hope to honor God in all that we do here.
While the production crew was at work bringing the DVD to life with subtitles, bonus features, and more options for praying the Rosary, cast members brought the musical to life in other ways.
I'm Gladius, and this year's ridiculous.
Well, there were a lot of mess ups, a lot of bloopers.
Picture the Last Supper.
Take and drink.
And one of the apostles, my friend
Sean had been sitting next to Jesus and had instructions to lay his head on the bosom of our Lord, because that's what John did.
And it didn't...
you just have to see it.
This is my blood. It will be shed for all of you.
It didn't work.
I remember this one time we were at a sheep farm shooting the Ascension, and we had a problem because
Make some bucket noise.
the sheep would not stay in the same frame as Jesus. All of a sudden, we see this herd of sheep run behind them.
Feed my lambs. Tend my sheep. Oh my God! Why did I laugh?
And actually Jesus kept singing. Then all of a sudden we see Andrew run behind them too, like herding the sheep. Back to the camera.
I just can't do it. It's got to be a different dance.
Although those involved in the production may have a sense of humor, the Rosary musical video has a serious mission.
The images of families praying the Rosary are so important for this project. We really wanted to show families praying the Rosary because prayer in the family is essential. In his apostolic letter on the Rosary, John Paul II writes that when individual family members come together to pray the Rosary, they turn their eyes toward Christ, and in doing so, they regain the ability to look one another in the eye, to communicate.
And what it comes down to is we want to encourage families to pray the Rosary. You'll see families on our video praying the Rosary. They are real families that do pray the Rosary.
Praying with videos may be a new idea for some people, but for the director of the Rosary Video Project, it is as natural as looking at stained glass windows.
Stained glass windows have been traditionally used to depict the mysteries of the gospel in light. And that's what we're trying to do with this project, is depict the mysteries of the gospel with the light of the television screen. Almost all of the stained glass windows that you see featured in the Rosary musical are in the Munich style. These are the windows that were popular in the parishes founded by European immigrants in America at the turn of the 20th century. The FX Settler and Mayer companies were interpreting the mysteries of the Rosary for their cultural context. And that's what we're trying to do here, is take the mysteries of the Rosary and put them in a musical format, interpreting them for the cultural context of America.
Although musicals are an American tradition, the Rosary musical has found an audience with friends from around the world. From a choir loft in Western New York, Sarah and Rebecca continue to work on the possibilities.
Welcome to the studio. We're going to show you what's going on up here. And why don't you come on up? This used to be a choir loft, but now we have the technology over here, little technology corner. We have all of our tapes all filed here. We're up to number 285. Over here we have our project folders and our project bank. We have our desks over here. This is one of the desks where I work. And over here is Rebecca's desk. And she's going to tell us what she's doing. What are you doing?
Well, right now I'm working on the broadcast version of the Rosary musical videos.
So what is that process like?
Well, the process for making these videos is similar to all video production. I have to go through a pre-production stage, which entails making storyboards, trying to envision what the different mysteries look like. And that means also taking the project to prayer, because these are meditations, they're visual meditations. So a lot of times what I'll do is in prayer I will bring a picture done by one of the great artists. Here we have one of my favorites, Caravaggio. And that's a scene that you'll see that we've tried to recreate in the proclamation of the kingdom in the musical Light.
Leads and blaze a path to heaven's door. Just turn away from sin and give your life to Him who sent me, and you'll be refreshed and you won't hunger anymore. Turn away.
Another one of my favorites is Fra Angelico, and I have an older book here with some of Fra Angelico's pictures. This is the presentation in the temple, and you can see that basically all you see are the main characters in the presentation and darkness.
Lots of black cloth in the background.
Behold the sign that will be contradicted and sacrificed to save all men.
We've made simple sets, but hopefully nothing that will distract a viewer from meditating on mysteries of the Rosary, because that's the purpose of this whole project.
For the executive producer, this Rosary isn't a show, but an example of how to participate in these mysteries.
The goal of our videos is somewhat different. What we're trying to do is show people personally involved in meditating on a scene. And so we take ordinary people, and like St. Ignatius Loyola asked us to do, we have them put themselves into the scene. We want people who watch the video to do the same. Picture yourself in the scene.
No, it's really cool how my mom's vision of the Rosary play is played out in the Sorrowful Mysteries, in that the Farah family is also in the acting. Mr. Farah is praying the Rosary, and then he's Pontius Pilate. And that just, it really makes you think about, you know, as I'm praying the Rosary, I should picture myself there.
Pope John Paul II called the Rosary a path of proclamation and increasing knowledge, saying that when the Rosary combines all the elements needed for effective meditation, it presents a catechetical opportunity that should not be overlooked.
Our hope is that you'll be able to pray the Rosary in a new way, so that when you sit down with your family, there are different options. You can pray the Rosary with the music videos. You can pray with Father Pablo meditation.
The angel Gabriel was sent by God to a virgin, and the virgin's name was Mary.
This catechetical tool for families has also been an education for the production crew.
I've learned so much from this experience that I couldn't imagine not being involved in it.
With grateful hearts, the Quiet Waters production team thanks God and all those who have made this project possible.
Oh, there are so many people to thank. First of all, I just want to thank you, the people who are watching this. We've been praying for you, and I really hope you find this something that's inspiring.
Thank you so much to all the families that make this possible.